Good evening, boys and girls, no matter where you are in the world. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. It's a Lockdown Series Volume 2, Episode 23. 23 is my partner Tony's favourite number, and I think you may know why. It's Michael Jordan. It's total greatness. So let's make this a great episode, shall we? Apologies for the tiny late start. Was just having a bit of a technical issue. But in the house is Super Kevin Campbell.
Oh!
I love how we do that. That synchronicity that we have is astounding, Casey. I think we've mastered it.
It is, but I think me and you are going to lock horns today, my dear.
We might just well might, and that's okay because
that's allowed. That's fine.
Yeah, it's allowed. We had a calm episode the other day. We had some fiery episodes last week. The most polarizing manager. I thought Wenger was a polarizing manager in his last few years, but Mikel Arteta is proving to be a very polarizing manager. All right. Good evening, everyone in chat from all corners of the earth. Oh, look, Connor, I'm about to get in the shower, but we'll listen to your words of wisdom.
QPR won at the weekend.
I know. I love it. Connor's our resident QPR fan as well. So welcome, Connor. I hope you haven't. Make sure you clean under those arms. Girls like nice,
clean aromas. Men, clean guys.
Yeah. Clean guys. Yeah, well done. Keep clean, Connor. Johnny boy, good evening. Yes. And then there's the Leyton Orient fan in the house, KC, because you had
your O's.
Yes, the O's. The O's love you as well. So welcome to everyone. Evening, Matty. Evening, Newman, and everyone in the house. I have some questions for Casey tonight. We're going to have some honest discussions. Casey wasn't able to be on the show post-game after we lost at the weekend. So that was a tough one. And we're going to do a show on Mondays, and it's going to either be Monday Madness, Super Kev, or Mellow Monday. Monday Madness will be after we've lost the game, and Mellow Monday will be after we've won a game. Okay?
Yeah, but you know something, Sophie, and this is the really important thing for the people in chat to understand and are watching. Mellow Monday can be Mad Monday for me, because sometimes you have to pinpoint points that stand out even in a victory.
Mm-hmm.
And if something ain't right in a victory, you have to say it, because you know what winning does? Winning papers over the cracks so people don't look at actually what's going wrong.
Right.
I don't. You know me. I don't do that.
Right.
If it ain't right, I would say it.
Right. And we're going to get to it. So I'm going to start with. Well, I didn't get your take. We didn't get your take. And I don't know if you want to wait to address it in Kevin Says on Wednesday, or if you want to give your quick overview on the game over the weekend, Kev. What do you want to do? Because I've the Monday Madness 5 questions for you.
No, listen, I could address it here because my Kev Says isn't necessarily just going to be about Aston Villa. It's more general. So right. I can address the Aston Villa game. Listen, it's you cannot afford to give teams a goal start. And yeah, Cedric, it was a short back pass, and Traore, had the upper hand in going around Gabriel because obviously Cedric left him short. But the thing I would worry about is there's one striker in the box. There's one centre-half and a goalkeeper. And the cross comes in, and Ollie Watkins, he hasn't made no big bit of movement or anything like that, Sophie. He's virtually stood there, and the ball comes to him, and he touches it, obviously, through Holding's legs, etc. But let me tell you something. If George Graham was the manager, he might have taken Rob Holding off.
Okay, so help me understand. Take me into the game as a player.
Right, as a player.
Cedric makes a terrible back pass, but why is everyone killing Holding?
Back pass. he does a bad pass. He does a bad pass to Gabriel, a short pass.
Yes.
But remember, they are not in on goal.
No.
Right? Traore has the upper hand on Gabriel because Gabriel all of a sudden is caught in between. Traore takes it to the side and he's still got to get a cross in, Sophie. He's still got to get a cross in. He's not right-footed, he's left-footed, isn't he? So he kind of swings his left foot at it and clips it in. Here's the problem, Sophie.
Tell me.
Does space score goals or does players score goals?
Well, space allows for goals.
No. Does space score goals or does players score goals?
Players score the goals.
Right. So here's the problem. Rob Holding marks the space and not the player. This is the problem. Because if he was tight to Ollie Watkins, I can guarantee you Ollie Watkins does not score.
So
the fact of the matter is, he backs off Ollie Watkins and Ollie Watkins just stands still because he's backed off me. He can't believe it. The ball comes, gets cut back, and Holding is too late. And this isn't criticism. This is just how I've been brought up at Arsenal and how those defenders marked. Space never scores goals. It's the player. So you have a look around and there's Ollie Watkins there. You've got to mark him.
Okay, so can I put up Alcarp's comment? Whose fault was it? Cedric's, Gabriel's, or Holding's?
For me, it's Holding.
Wow.
For me, it's Holding.
Wow, he didn't even make the shitty pass, but yet it's his fault.
No, you see, this is the thing, Sophie. This is the thing. Bad passes happen all the time in football. But when the ball goes into your danger area, this is where defenders have to be defenders. And if defenders do not mark the striker, it ends up in the back of your net. So, do you know when I said about David Luiz at Wolves, where I said he was caught out of possession a bit and the ball got played, and that's where you're looking for your mate.
That could have been Holding's mistake too, right?
Well, that's where you're looking for your mate to get you out of trouble. Yeah, because don't forget, the ball gets played, Holding should be there. He's got to realize, he's got to have a look. The ball gets played, he should be the one across there making the challenge. But no, the lad goes through and it allows David Luiz to come all the way back and make a challenge when Holding's closer. This is bad defending.
But don't you? Okay. So let me ask you this, because you weren't on the post-game show. Would you agree, though, that Cedric put his teammate in a uncompromising position?
Yeah, of course. I've said that it was a short pass back to Gabriel. That's what gave Traore the upper hand against Gabriel. Because normally I would have backed Gabriel to deal with that. But the fact of the matter is, he got caught in between. Traore was already on the run and he's knocked it past him and he's just about got the crossing.
So Johnny Boy,
as a defender,
yes,
you've got to mark your man.
Okay, so Johnny, I want you to address Johnny Boy's question. Why wasn't Holding marking correctly, Casey? Are we marking space or players?
I've just said that. Rob Holding backed off to mark the space. He's got to if you watch it again, there is no reason for Rob Holding to back off Ollie Watkins. None whatsoever. But he does. He steps off him. The ball gets played in, and Ollie Watkins gets a free hit at our goal. And again,
it was a dodgy goal even. It deflected. That's Matt Ryan had no chance.
But here's the thing. Even with Holding backing off Sophie, he nearly got there. Now imagine he never backed off. He wouldn't even have got a shot in. That's the point I'm trying to make. So again, as a defender, you've got any player has to do their job. Fair enough. Cedric's pass put the defense on the back foot 100%, but the ball still hasn't even come into our box yet.
I know.
So we have to deal with it.
So, KC, what do you think about Martin's comment? It wasn't just Holding's fault. It's a bad team defending there. Everyone's at fault. Rob doesn't see his man. And, he's talking about like marking him. And then Gabriel doesn't get close to Traore either.
No, that's not true. Because Gabriel tries to get to Traore, but he's already in a deficit because the ball is short. Gabriel is standing there expecting the ball to come back. It's short. He kind of goes in, but Traore is already on the run. Traore realizes this is my chance. That's why he knocks it past him. Gabriel's quick. That's why he kind of nearly gets there. But the ball, in all this, Sophie, the ball still hasn't come into our box.
You know what, KC? You're right. And a lot of fans are talking about how insightful it is, because even though Cedric made the bad pass, how we reacted to the bad pass is what really truly led to the goal, because we should always be prepared for that and have our positioning. And a lot of people are saying, KC, like, go on, you go.
Let me just make this point. This is really important for anybody watching. Was the pass short? Yes, it was. So Cedric holds his hand up. That's a short pass. Gabriel doesn't just get beat, but he makes it difficult for Traore to get a good ball into the box. Because he doesn't knock a good ball into the box, Sophie.
It's not the best ball.
Right. So therefore, if it's not a great ball into the box, that's where you're expecting your other centre-half to be tight to the striker so we can either clear it or put pressure on him. But unfortunately, Holding, which is what a lot of defenders do, backs off thinking that's safe. The goal's there, I'm protecting the goal. But you're not protecting the goal, because if the ball goes to the striker, he's got a free shot. And he nearly gets there. In his credit, he nearly gets there. It goes through his legs, and, the keeper nearly gets it as well. But we could have dealt with that problem by marking the striker.
Which we failed to do on this occasion, is what you're saying. We let him have too much space. And then there was a deflection, and Matty Ryan had no choice, no chance.
He had no choice. He had no chance.
No.
But there's a saying, sorry, Sophie, I just want to make this point.
Yeah.
You have to stop it before it happens. Gabriel didn't get the opportunity to stop it, but he's made Traore have to make a difficult cross, which should suit Rob Holding. Because it's not an actual great ball in that it takes Rob Holding out. Rob Holding could see Ollie Watkins there. He's here. He could see it. But the problem is he made the move back and he couldn't get out. And that's the issue. If he'd stayed up a yard more, he would have intercepted the ball. But so this is for the people in chat. If you watch it again, just watch it. Watch when Traore plays the ball across, and Ollie Watkins, he can't believe his luck. First minute.
And what a lot of fans are writing, and listeners in chat, KC, right now, and I had it on just a second ago, and Ronnie saying every action demands a reaction, and our reaction was poor. That was like, 74 seconds into the game. We had 93 more minutes to react to that moment. And I know that Cedric was poor, Holding was poor, what happened at the back was poor, but then we never reacted to it, Casey. So as bad as it was, do we blame them, or do we then say, well, our creative side, help me understand that.
Sophie. I'm only saying about the goal because when you're a good team, you don't concede goals like that.
No.
Do you understand? You look at any of the best teams, they don't concede goals like that. They don't.
On the odd occasion, an anomaly, they may, like in a blue moon kind of game, they might do it, but they don't do it week in, week out. We do it week in, week out.
Well, here's what I would tell you, Sophie. There is no way you are getting that space in the box against the best teams, where a guy puts a poor cross in and it goes to the striker and he gets a free shot. No. That is not in after 74 seconds. No chance.
So this is why a lot of fans say you can't win, let alone win. Let's put win out the window, because that's not happening. You can't challenge or be competitive in the Premier League if you're going to have players like Rob Holding play for you. But yeah, we gave him a new contract.
I disagree.
I think he's been great. He's partnered. He and Gabriel cannot play together, Casey.
Look, they can play together, Sophie, and they have played together.
But they haven't done it greatly, have they? But
the point I'm saying is this: when these guys, because whatever anybody thinks, they go and study the videos and watch. Okay, Rob Holding, when he watches the video, is going to go like that because it's a defender's makeup to think that is safe. That isn't safe. The striker's the one who scores the goals. The space never scores goal. So he's got to mark the striker. And we've seen him. And here's the thing, you see, Sophie. We've seen Rob Holding do it before, where he's marked the striker. And he's had good games.
But with smarter footballers.
It's just a lapse, I think. It's just a lapse. Now, we go a goal down. And I've got to say, Sophie, our attacking play,
shocking, wasn't it?
Was absolutely woeful.
Let's get to that, because the defense have been killed. And look, Matty Ryan's first touch as an Arsenal goalkeeper was picking the ball out the back of his net. Yeah. But yet, let's be honest, he did amazing in that game.
He done brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, what a debut, right? God bless him. He came into a situation, started off very negatively. I know we've talked a lot about these noon kickoffs on this show, and that when we never seem awake or prepared. I asked you the question after losing to Wolves in the manner in which we did: would this team be mentally prepared for this next game? And in my opinion, they were not. They weren't mentally in tune. They seemed a bit tired as well, fatigued.
Yeah, but
the energy was gone. But it's no excuse.
No, but that's not being, you see, being a bit tired, etc., is not that you're not prepared. You see? Every team prepares. Every team. Sophie, again, we're talking about professional football. Every team are prepared. And don't forget, Aston Villa played a day later.
But they've scolded us twice. Wolves have scolded us twice. These two teams, how's this happened, Kevin?
Yeah, but the bottom line, we're just not good enough, Sophie. We're not good enough. And however we want to dice it, slice it, splice it, we are not good enough. We had great opportunities with breaks to get in behind them, play the right pass and get us up the pitch. We couldn't even do that, Sophie. We had plenty of balls into the box. There was poor finishing. We could say it weren't our day, but we're just not good enough, Sophie.
Okay, so I may strike my Monday Madness top 5 questions, because I wanted to I've been dying, I've been WhatsApping you and we've been talking, Casey, and I know you've been busy working away on some La Liga games, covering some so-called player called Lionel Messi, whatever.
It was unbelievable last night. Come off the bench.
We'll get to Tom Brady at the end of the show, because I do want to have a quick chat with you about that. But Ryan, thank you, babe. 10 losses by February. Okay. I've pointed out to you, thank you, Taib, smash the likes up. We do love that. And you got some man crushes happening in chat tonight. Super Kev.
Is that the Irish crew? Listen, listen, that Ender got at me because he said I called him a woman. I didn't call you a woman. I just said I don't trust it. I don't trust them. I don't trust that person. It's a nice one, Ireland. I love you.
I love it. I want you to help me with an area that you are very familiar with, because as a striker, you're standing there watching that unfold, the bad pass by Cedric. You're seeing it, right, from a different perspective in the game. But then as a striker, you're waiting for your moment to affect the game. And I think one of the things, as much as we criticize Arteta and the players, and that we're a team that's in rebuild mode, and it's a little bit tougher for us, unlike Manchester United and Manchester City, because we don't put the money into the transfer market the same way those players do. So we've got rid of a lot of dross, but we're still kind of fighting our way back. But then you have 93 minutes to affect the game. And I want you to put me in the game as a striker, because Emile Smith-Rowe had a very poor game. You actually said on this show last week that you felt Odegaard should be given a shot to start against Aston Villa. And when he came on, I felt like he did good things. I know he missed the chance. And when some fans were killing him for missing the chance, I'm like, come on, give the guy a break.
He just got on the pitch.
He just got on the pitch, right? So, Kev, can you tell me, why is it this particular team under Arteta is struggling so much to create chances and score goals? Why?
The truth of the matter is, to score goals and to create chances, you got to run.
Grind.
You got to run. You got to run. You got to outrun your opponents. You've got to make better movements, and you've got to have better quality passes into the strikers. Now, the bottom line of it is, all of them were liable for not playing the right pass at the right time. I saw us have breaks, and we could have played balls wide to Saka, etc., and the balls were getting cut out. Whenever balls went into the box, did you see any Aston Villa defenders let our strikers get free? No. Because they marked them.
Yeah,
and they marked the man.
It never felt like they felt threatened, really, Kevin. That's what bothered me the most. And our passing in the final third, I'm thinking of you, and I'm thinking, if you're playing down the middle, if you're in that front three, you are frustrated. Like I listen, I'm not defending. We'll get to Aubameyang eventually.
You're right. No, you're right. You are frustrated as a striker. 100%.
Errant passes. Even we love Saka. You know, we love ESR. Lacazette looked like he was dying up there. He's like, give me something. You know, give me something. And it felt like, you know, Pepe, I thought, again, had 4 games in a row that he was good, but his finishing was poor. He could have had 2 goals maybe in that game, Kevin.
Yeah.
And maybe he had a couple moments where he should have passed it to the, you know, box wide, and he didn't. And it feels like, why are we unable to take these chances or create these chances? It's been an Achilles heel for Arteta, because he's improved us at the back, even though we're where we are in the league. But going forward, we're dire.
Yeah, do you know what you make there? You make a really good point, because it's our decision making, the key decision making, Sophie, is what is killing us. And here's the reason why it's killing us. Because when you see Arsenal flowing, it comes easy. You see certain goals, you know, ball comes into Smith-Rowe, he knocks it round the corner, and he follows, the ball goes into Lacazette, to Saka, back to Lacazette, he cuts the box to Smith-Rowe, and Saka's in for the tapping. It's effortless, because they don't even have to really think about it, because they feel empowered to do it. But and here's the difficult part. You see, when you're a little bit tired,
you
think about things a little bit more. You know, you think, you get the ball and the pass is on, and that split second that you see it and then you go to do it, as opposed to see it and do it. You see it and then do it. That line is shut.
Kevin, I'm gonna agree with Name Block, because you and I were raving about even Xhaka's. I actually thought Xhaka was better than Partey in this game. You know, I actually thought that he tried to do things, but we talked about this, and your mind was blown with how Partey improved the play, and our forward passing was quicker, swifter, faster. And it felt like in the Villa game, everything slowed down again.
You see, Sophie, I'll be honest with you. I'm watching the game, and I saw good play from the back through the midfield. As soon as we got to the final third, we're done. We were done. Villa got back, and then we had to start playing sideways because we couldn't get through them. You see the ball when Saka turned the defender, and Saka was in and he got pulled down, etc. There was some good play. We did create some opportunities, but to take opportunities, and that's why scoring goals is the most important part of football.
Absolutely.
Because you have to be on it all the time. If you're a yard too slow, Sophie, you're not going to score. And Aston Villa, they keep their back four intact. They say, right, we're going to mark, and Grealish and all these other guys are going to get on with it. But we're not going to allow gaps. They are not going to allow gaps for us to exploit. And if we play too slow, we play into their hands.
Exactly. And I felt you said at the beginning of this game, you said on this show, and you tweeted it, if we control the midfield, we win. And unfortunately, we did not. We couldn't keep the ball. We had possession. Like, how many times have we seen in games where there's been, I think it was the Chelsea-Barcelona game where Barcelona had like 82% possession in a Champions League match, and Chelsea, Drogba killed them with the header. And, they win the game. Possession sometimes doesn't count for anything. It's what you do with the possession when you have it, even in a fleeting moment, right? Possession
isn't everything.
It's what you do with it. So where I want to go with this is, I've said this on the show a lot. We're mentally impotent still. We've improved mentally in moments and at the back, and in cup games. We're a cup team. We're not a Premier League team yet again, Kevin.
No, of course.
And I find it that these players didn't overcome the Wolves debacle, and clearly it was a penalty on Lacazette. Clearly Emi pulled him down, and it seems like we can't overcome those moments. And I want you to take me into the game as a player again when those moments happen, but then as a team, you're like, screw this. We're going to go on. We're going to find a way to win or get a goal, get us in the game, even if we get a point. And it felt like we just kind of settled back and let it affect us again,
Sophie, I don't particularly agree 100%, because here's the reason why I don't particularly agree 100%. I thought when Saka moved to left back, I thought we started getting down beyond them a lot more down that left-hand side. Saka was getting a lot of ball in and around their 18-yard box. But the issue we have is when you put crosses in, we got nobody to head it in. Because when you get down there...
Oh, my God, where's the comment? Someone said with corners, we're so useless at corners, crosses. What is that about, Kevin?
Yeah, because look, at the end of the day, right, Sophie, it's what if you've got Lacazette in the middle against Konsa and Tyrone Mings, why are you crossing the ball?
Exactly.
Because he's never going to win it. Not in a month for Sundays. You're talking about 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" centre halves, and you're putting high crosses in. Lacazette hasn't got a chance. But you start getting it in and around the feet. But you see, in order to do that, Sophie, you need runners and you need energy. And we don't have it. You could see we expended a lot of energy against Wolves. Obviously, went down to 10 and then 9 men. That's why I thought Odegaard would start, because I think Smith Rowe he didn't play great, but he had put a shift in at Wolves. So that's why I thought he's going to freshen it up. He didn't, which is fair enough. But Odegaard's got to come on earlier for me. He's got to come on earlier. Someone who you see he's very clever, he's smart, he's cute. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to pick a pass, etc. So, look, I'm not second guessing the manager, because the manager makes his own decisions. But I thought Arsenal did try. But again, personnel is one, Sophie. Because when you are battling to get back into a game, Sophie, and you really if you equalise and you get a point, you hold your hands up and say, "We take a point."
Mm-hmm.
But that comes by any means necessary. But we can't get Saka down the wing, get a cross in, and somebody head it in because we've got nobody in there who could head the ball. So
truth.
So again, it's a personnel thing. Great that Aubameyang comes on, but Aubameyang's not going to outjump him either. So this is our problem. Exactly, this is our problem. We don't have the personnel, and we're not good enough to play through them.
No, and Laka had to come too deep in this game, way too many times to try and affect the game and get the ball. Kev, I want you to explain to me too as a player, and welcome to everyone. You're listening to the Hybrid Squad with Super Kevin Campbell. What I love about our post-game analysis with Kevin is because he takes us into the game as though he was playing in the game. And not many Arsenal podcasts can give you that. And there's 260 plus in live chat right now. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it this Monday night that you're spending it with us. And I want to take Kev back into the game to give his perspective on substitutions. Clearly we know we missed our chances. I think we all agree that the Lacazette was a penalty. The Saka incident, 6-1, half a dozen of the other. I don't think you can kill the referee.
You can get it and you can't,
Right. But where the manager really did maybe change the momentum of the game, Kevin, is when he brought Willian on. And look, I don't want to sit here and kill Arsenal players, and I don't want to sit here and kill the manager, but I will criticize him when he makes bad decisions.
Was forced,
so as a player, when you're standing there and you're looking for a goal, especially as a striker, where give me a chance, just give me one sniff and I will bang it in the net. And then you see the manager make that substitution. Can you take me into your mind with that one, Kev?
It doesn't change, Sophie. It doesn't change. Look, if the fan base takes the emotion out of it, and I say that quite a bit, you've got to take the emotion out of it. Mm-hmm. Willian hasn't been great at all at Arsenal Football Club, 100%. The fact of the matter is, it's another person who can come on and maybe affect the defense. Whether it's with his energy, whether it's with a run, whether it's with a cross, whether it's with whatever. Mm-hmm. The manager has put him on for a reason. You train with the guy all the time. So what I'm thinking of is, when he gets the ball, I know what he's going to do. That's what training's for. So whenever he gets it, I know where I'm going to go. I know what I'm going to do. Now, the fact that it doesn't quite work out, and we were awful in the last third, to be honest, isn't the manager's fault. It's not Willian's fault that he come on the pitch, that all of a sudden it didn't work out. It's the team. The team isn't good enough right now.
But shouldn't he have brought on Martinelli, a player who has pace who can affect the game?
But that's the problem. You could say bring Martinelli on. If he brings Martinelli on and nothing happens, what then?
But the risk is better with Martinelli than Willian. I think that's the point. Not
necessarily. The manager didn't think that was the right choice.
But we all agree it was the wrong choice, because we've seen Willian this season.
You all agree, but it's not the manager's choice.
Okay, we've not gone on this yet. Kevin, we've seen Willian this season. We had some momentum. Not only did he bring Willian on, but then he takes Pepe out of the position where he has shone in the last couple of games. You move Saka to left back. Mm-hmm. Now, I know Cedric had a bad pass, but do you take that risk at that point, considering how Laka and Pepe were playing? Then you bring Willian on. Explain that to me, Kevin, because he loses me there. He loses so many.
He might lose you, but he don't lose me. Because
he doesn't lose you bringing Willian on for even Ceballos.
No, he doesn't. Because what I'm saying to you is this. He moves Saka because, like I said earlier on in this conversation, we needed a natural left footer to be going down the left-hand side for the overlap. And that's why Saka got so many balls as a fullback in behind them. But our problem was when he's delivering balls into the box, we got nobody in there. That's our problem. If he wasn't getting down that side, then I could say, whoa, maybe he shouldn't have made that move. But the reason why he made that decision was to get Saka, a naturally left-footed player, when we got balls down the sides of them, down the side of their box, and Saka did deliver 3 or 4 balls into the box. Unfortunately, 1, we don't get on the end of it, or 2, we didn't finish it off. Now, again, if Saka goes down there, cuts the ball back, and we equalize, well done, Mikel Arteta. But the fact of the matter is, we could have been playing there till next week. It didn't look like we were going to score, Sophie. It didn't. And sometimes you have to make these adjustments to put the back 4 on their heels.
I'm not going to buy. I'm not. Okay. I can never buy. I'm not going to agree. I will never agree with bringing Willian on over even Martinelli or Ceballos. I will never, ever agree with that. And look at James's comment. Kevin, you alluded to it earlier. Saka on the left with Pepe was getting joy. Willian come on and it killed it all completely. ESR went right. Pepe went right. ESR then became a CM and the game plan went. He made a mistake tactically. He did.
It's not. Sophie, how many times did Saka get down the side of their box? I saw he delivered about 3 or 4 good balls into the box. That's why you make the adjustment.
The adjustment making it with a player who has been absolutely dire is just crazy to everybody, Kevin. There's no
but it's crazy. It's crazy to you. It might be crazy to you and everybody. But to the manager, he's done it for a reason. He's done it to create the overlap for Saka on the left-hand side. I've said it once, I'll say it twice, and I'll say it 90 times.
Yeah, but I agree here. KC, you're struggling to find excuses for Arteta.
It's not an excuse. You've asked me to explain why he made the substitution. So how is it an excuse? Listen, I'm explaining why he's done it.
Sheza TV, welcome from East Africa. Read my comment. I will do that. Willian should not play. He's not good enough. I mean, it's every single Arsenal fan could see it. Why not then adapt differently?
Sophie, can I just say this?
You can create the overlap for Saka with other players, Kevin.
No, you can't. Cedric isn't left-footed. Cedric isn't left-footed.
Then have a plan B, Kevin. He doesn't.
He has. That's why Saka went to left back.
No, No, that wasn't the best plan B, was it really?
Well,
Saka and Pepe were having joy.
Sophie, did we score? No. So you have to change it. You could be saying they had joy. What joy was there? We never scored.
But sometimes you need an X factor. Combs AFC. Sometimes we just need power and athleticism, hence Martinelli. What does Willian do that Martinelli can't? Help me understand that with the players that were on the bench, why he couldn't affect the game in a different way than what you're suggesting, just by wanting to plug William into that hole. 300 plus in live chat right now. Welcome, everybody.
The only person who could tell you why he brought him on is Arteta. I'm talking about the adjustment. Fair enough, you bring him on, but the adjustment was then to move Saka to left back.
But he's also like setting up certain players to fail because maybe Bellerin's been Cedric playing left back. I know he has done, and he's done lots of times.
He's not setting him up to fail.
No, he is.
No, Sophie,
he should have played him at right back with Bellerin at the beginning of the game. Maybe just start Cedric. Hold on, let me finish. Why not play?
He's not setting him up to fail. No.
Let me just say, why not? Bellerin's been poor. This is clear. He's not been great. Play Cedric at right back. Start Saka at left back. Keep Pepe on the left. All right. And then, in essence, I just think that sometimes these square peg round holes, the way he moved everybody off their position in the second half when they were having an effect in the game and there was momentum building, and then he brings Willian on, and then all of a sudden we died.
But did we not have chances after Willian came on? I'm sure we did.
Hold on a second. Missing chances and Willian coming on is another thing. Did he affect the game?
I'm just asking a question.
I'm asking you. Did he affect the game?
Hold on. You mentioned Willian coming on, and I said, did we create any chances after Willian come on? And I saw chances we did create.
We've already
we
given
never
a shout
took
out
them.
to Ireland, Terry. We've had too many shout outs to Ireland tonight, but here you go, Terry. Another
Terry,
shout out.
Shout out to Republic of Ireland Gooners.
Look, this is what Zanir's saying. Willian killed our momentum, Casey. Help everyone understand.
And Sophie,
no one can palm on
how many times do you want me to explain it?
There's not anyone who agrees. No one agrees.
I don't care. Listen, Sophie, I'm not on here for people to agree with me. I'm on here to tell you what I think from a player's point of view.
As a player, right? You want to score. Okay. And I always take you into the mode, and that's why you're here, because you take us into the game. As a player, when that substitution happens and Willian
before.
I know, but you can't be happy that Willian comes on over a Ceballos or a Martinelli. Come on, be honest.
What? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, Sophie. Hold on a minute here. Just let me tell you this. And let me tell you this for nothing. As a player, it's not up to me who comes on the pitch. I've got to do my job, right? Willian comes on the pitch or he doesn't come on the pitch. It's my job to recognize who comes on, what he can do, and where I need to be in order to score the goals or to influence or to set somebody up. That's what I've got to do. Now, if the team adjusts and we get more joy down the left-hand side, in behind, but we don't get the joy that we were getting on the right, so be it. Because we never scored when we had whoever on the right. We never scored when we had Pepe on the left. We never scored.
Okay, here's the scoop. We haven't even got to our Monday Madness top 5 questions. I'm going to do them in a quick fire round for you, but some fantastic analysis from Kevin, because you get a different perspective here. I mean, look, I'm not happy as a fan, and I'm a fan. I haven't played the game. I just think it was absolute horseshit that Willian came on instead of Martinelli or even Ceballos. I don't understand why we can't create chances. We have tied players, but I want to get to the top 5 questions, and I want everyone to start jumping in on chat. We've got 15 minutes here left with Super Kev. And my first question was, have we broken Thomas Partey? At Atletico Madrid, he was rarely injured. And now he's got a muscle injury. Tierney has a muscle injury. Do we break players, Kevin? Explain.
No, of course not. But injuries are part of the game. He's a midfielder. He's in the trenches. And he's been out a while, Sophie. And again, we've got to take our time to try and bring him in. It's all very, you can't just throw him in and all of a sudden it just clicks. We would love it to be that. But unfortunately, he's still getting used to the Premier League. He is. It's not, the Premier League is not La Liga. It's different. It's a lot more physical. And that's what he's finding. We see his quality.
So did we bring him back too soon?
No, I don't think so. But I think he still has to adjust. There's still time for him to adjust to the Premier League. He still needs time. That's all.
Okay. Injuries happen, yeah, but Tierney's been very injury prone. Partey's had so many muscle injuries since he's come into the league. I get it. The Premier League is more intense and more difficult. All right. That was question number 1 for our Monday Madness top 5, which we were going to start the show with. Hopefully, Thomas Partey. I saw Chris Wheatley from Football London, a good friend of the show, post that it looks like Partey might actually be back for the Leeds game, which would be massive, right? 300 plus strong crowd now in live chat. You're listening to the Highbury Squad here with Super Kevin Campbell. Get your comments in. My question to you, my second one, Kevin, only you can answer this. I don't even think you had a drought like Aubameyang. Have you ever had a drought like that? Have you ever had
droughts?
Have you hit bad form like that after being so prolific?
I've had droughts. Sophie, I've had drought. A striker has droughts throughout his career, right? That's a fact. A striker has droughts throughout his career. But you've got to. The issue with Aubameyang is this, Sophie. Because Aubameyang is really just a goal scorer, he doesn't bring really anything else to the table if he's not scoring. Do you understand what I mean? Whereas myself,
he can't create his own chances. He needs
it's not only that, but let's put it this way. If I wasn't scoring, I could set goals up for Wrighty. I could set goals up for Merce. I could set goals up for Rocky. I could set goals up for Anders Limpard. Do you understand what I mean? I could hold the ball. I could nod balls down in the box. I could make a nuisance of myself that creates havoc in the opposition back four, that gets our players and our side chances to score. The problem with Aubameyang is he doesn't do that. He's not a physical player. He's a quick player, very quick player. But we've seen when we play quickly, he's more effective. When we play slow, he's not as effective. Okay? For me, we've got to know how to use Aubameyang. And we've used him better in the past, but that's been to the detriment of the defense.
What do you
and that's the balance. It's a balance thing that we need to address. We need to address this.
KC, what do you think about Tony Cascarino, who said it's really alarming seeing the effort Aubameyang puts in games, and he's not trying to be more physical, get stuck in, impose himself, and not his game. It's
not his game.
And it's hard, isn't it? Because it isn't his game. So when he's asked to do those things, it almost puts him out of in a worse comfort zone, because then he really can't affect the game.
Sophie, the bottom line is he can't do it. He can't do it because you know what? The moment he tries to get physical, he will get hurt.
Is that something that going forward, should we be looking for a new striker in the summer?
Well, I've said it before. We need somebody who can head the ball. We need a big striker. Because you know what? We haven't got a plan. We haven't got a plan B if we're struggling.
I said that to you earlier in the show.
No, hold on a minute. We haven't got a plan B of a big striker. Because we make the adjustments and we get balls in the box. And there's nobody to attack the ball. I said that earlier on when you said we haven't got a plan B. He makes adjustments, but we're not good enough to play through teams. At times, sometimes we can be, but at the moment, on Saturday, we weren't. We were poor.
Do you also think, and you've said this before, and Daniel makes a good point, and thank you, by the way, Mark as well, hit the like button. We always love it and respect it. And if you don't like us, then we'll still be friends anyway. But if you have time, just hit that like button. We'd love that. You've said this, Kevin. You were there for the Brighton game. And you said, Soph, how many times Oba made runs and he did not get the ball?
I saw one on Saturday. And it was the Odegaard received the ball. And as he received it, I saw Aubameyang bend his run and he was in. But Odegaard couldn't play it because he'd just really come on the pitch. He wasn't up to the speed of the game, probably. That's the only thing I could think of, because he's one of them players who can play that ball. But you know what, Sophie? If we don't utilize our best striker to his strengths, what's the point in having him there?
Kev, can I ask you this? Because I want to put Ryan's comment up. So Bruno Fernandes comes in, one player, and you could argue, forget Cavani, because he affected Man United before Cavani came in, who's an aerial player, who's dominant, like he's like a Zlatan, right? They're cut from the same cloth. You know, Greenwood's slight, Rashford plays on the flanks as much as he has played down the middle and stuff like that. How is it they've improved with a player like him, You know, we have Odegaard, we have ESR, but yet when it comes to creating the chances, we still don't have that. Can you help me understand
That's
that?
easy. Yeah, of course. They've got more experience than we have. A lot more. They're a more complete squad than we have.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the players that Manchester United have got. They should be up there challenging left, right, and centre. They should be. And then you get Bruno Fernandes and you put him in with them, and then all of a sudden, that's why they're up there. Because you can't keep quality down. They've got goal scorers all across the front. Anthony Martial as well. Remember, Anthony Martial was playing back to goal, and he's a winger.
Yeah,
but I tell you one thing that they will play quick, they will play through you, and they will run.
But
they
also
will run past you.
But also, they're more. It seems like that front three, like a Rashford, like unlike Aubameyang, he crossed the ball for that Cavani goal in the Everton game.
Great cross, yeah.
Great cross, right? Doesn't seem like we have some. Our crosses are so poor, and so many people, Kevin, have asked me to ask you this question tonight because, number one, I love Saka. He never's able to clear the first defender on a corner. It's appalling. I love the guy. He's a revelation. He's the future of Arsenal Football Club. But our crossing, whether it's Saka, whether it's Bellerin, whether it's any player playing on the flank, or even coming like from a direct free kick, a dead ball, it's poor. We don't have the whip. We don't have the lethalness. We just don't have it. And I think that's part of the problem,
Well, look, you could say set pieces are very important. Maybe we don't have the dead ball specialists. Although Odegaard is a quality, he has quality delivery from dead balls. But maybe it's something that they don't really work at. They don't really look on that as much as we should.
Mm-hmm.
That because if it was something that really meant a lot, we would be better at it.
Yeah, it seems like someone just said our team is better than how we're performing, which is why some Arsenal fans question Arteta. So I want to move on. That's 2 of our top 5 Monday questions. I've only got 8 minutes now. Otherwise, I'm going to go into some major Sophie time, and I've got to do like bomb, 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 bomb. There's been rumors about extending Arteta's contract.
Mm-hmm.
That's been happening in the last few days.
Yeah.
Is this something we should be talking about now, or should we wait until we find out what happens by the end of the season, and if we are able to get to a Europa League final or win it, Kevin?
No, doesn't matter, does it? What does it matter? If the hierarchy believe in the manager, that's all that matters. Let me tell you something, Sophie. The fan base ain't the one who decides, because they go from game to game. Mm-hmm. Arsenal win 5-6 games on the spin. Oh, everything's hunky-dory. We lose against Wolves, a bad one to lose. Then we lose at Villa. It's Arteta out. Fans are too emotional in all this. If the hierarchy believe in the manager and they believe in the job he is doing, don't worry about the fan base, because the fan base will come along once everything starts to move in the right direction, because that's what fans are like.
I'm just playing
fans are like.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, I understand that. Yeah.
Look at Chelsea. Mike Hertz, Pastor Kev, preach, baby, preach. Let's and there's a lot of people.
Look at Chelsea. You say, look at Chelsea.
They've improved under Tuchel.
How long's he been there?
He's been there like 3 weeks, and they've been great.
3 games. He's had 3 games, right? But look at their squad, Sophie.
But that's the point: is can a manager with more experience get a little bit more out of this team? I'm not saying. I'm asking Sophie, the question: do you want to give him a new contract now, or do you just want to take a step back and wait?
I've just answered the question, and it's like you're not listening to me. If the hierarchy at the club believe in the manager and they want to give him a new contract, give it to him. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about what the fan base want to say and Arteta out and all this, because those same fans who say Arteta out, when the team start winning, oh, I'm so pleased. Because we all want to say.
I'm not saying Arteta out. I'm asking.
No, I never said you said. I'm saying
Okay.
those same fans who say that Arteta out, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's lost the dressing room, but all this crap. We've heard it all before. Now, as long as the hierarchy are happy to, 1, back the manager, 2, take the flack with the manager, go with it. Go with it. And you know what? You cannot be half-hearted, Sophie. We done a show earlier on this season, and I said to the fan base, there is more pain coming, because with what's happened in the past, the chickens have come home to roost.
I know everyone.
Hold on. I just need to finish this. The chickens have come home to roost. Finally, we are starting to see holes get filled in the team. We are starting to see the deadwood get out of the club. But this is just the beginning. Yeah, and we are 10th in the league. Yeah, of course we are. But you know what? This is where we are.
I guess the tough part for me is we treated one manager one way and the other another way. And our Premier League form hasn't improved. And someone said this, where is that question? Where is that? They said, KC, why do it now? Why not wait? I want to try and find it.
I'll answer that.
Okay.
I'll answer that. Why not do it now? Why would you wait?
Here, this one, KC, why the rush? Why the rush?
There's no rush. It's not a rush. It's not a rush. But you know what? And this is what I will say to all this fan base. God forbid anybody ever has a difficult time with this fan base. You wouldn't back anybody. The fan base wouldn't back anybody. And that's the problem. The fan base think they know best what's best for the club. Because if a new manager came in and he didn't have a great time, what are you going to do? You're going to do the same thing again?
No, I'm with Alistair. One more transfer window. And I said this on this show, and I stand by it and clear. If we can do what Ole did for Man United, I'm all in. But come November next year, after another transfer window, if we are still in the same league position, he has got to go.
Sophie,
is that fair?
Sophie, hey, listen, you could say what you want. That's up to you. Sophie, what I'm saying to you is this. You cannot plant a seed and expect it to grow in one day.
George Graham did, apparently.
He didn't. George Graham didn't. It took him 3 years to win the league. 3 years. He won a League Cup.
But he won the FA Cup. We were more competitive.
No, he didn't, Sophie. He won the FA Cup after he won the second league.
But he made us a bit more. He made us mentally stronger and a bit more competitive, didn't he?
Sophie, he won the League Cup. Second season, he won nothing. Third season was 89.
Yes.
So therefore, he got the time to build. Fans don't want to build. They want it microwaved, I'm afraid.
Well, we had the instant gratification show.
It's the ping mentality. Stick it in the microwave, nuke it, and we're all right. We are not all right.
Listen, we're not all right. And here's what I don't like. Don't blame Unai Emery for the problems Arsenal are in. Please don't do that. It's just ridiculous. Unai Emery inherited the same bollocks mess that Arteta did.
That was left.
You know, did he make some bad buys? Yes, Lichtsteiner, bad. You know, we had some bad transfers during the Unai era. You know, and then people want to kill him for not being able to speak English, but then they laud Marcelo Bielsa for doing what he's doing at Leeds, and he has a translator and all that stuff. Like, please just stop. You know, Willian is the worst buy in Arsenal history. That's under Arteta's watch. Okay, so all I'm asking is this. Be real. This mess was created under the Gazidis Wenger era, and it takes 100%. Years to clean it up. Does it not, Casey? Is that not a fair statement? Like, let's keep it real.
Yep, that's bang on. The rot had set into the football club, and do you know what? For whatever the fan base want to say, because you could be Arteta out, you could be Arteta in, you could be just sitting on the fence, whatever. The facts of the matter is this, Sophie. Arsenal have been on the decline, whether we like it or not, over the years. And this is what, our 4th year outside of the Champions League? So that isn't a club who's going on the up. We're scraping to try and get in the Champions League. We can't do it.
Yeah.
And why can't we? All those fans who think we're a Champions League club, we're a Champions League club in size, but not in the playing stature anymore.
Yeah.
We are not.
We're not.
Ask all those fans, why are we not a Champions League club? Why are we going downhill? We're going downhill because of the past.
Right.
The past has come to catch us up.
And like James says, we've gone from winning the league to top 4 to top 6 to top 7. Now it's top 10 or don't get relegated. Why should I, as a fan, accept mediocrity and unwillingness to change and compete?
Let me answer this. Let me answer this. So, James, here's the issue. You, just like a lot of other fans, were happy to qualify for the Champions League year after year after year after year. That's enough. We qualified for the Champions League and wore it like a trophy. Okay? Then when it don't get in, the rot had already set in. But once the rot's set in and the damp's there, you can't complain. You can't complain now that the rot is there. It's on show. The damp, you can see the damp up and down your walls. You can't, because you were there happy just to qualify under Arsene Wenger, qualify. And we're not getting anywhere. But you were happy to, you go for a little jaunt in the Champions League.
Not all of us were, Kevin. Not all of us were.
No, I'm talking about the likes of James and certain fans, right? Happy to qualify, just qualify for the Champions League, but not challenge for the league, Sophie. And that's why
that's my biggest beef.
And that's why I keep saying it, and I keep saying it. Everybody, Stevie Wonder knew we needed a centre half and centre midfielder. He could see it.
James Wenger never. He's complained for years, actually.
Yeah, Wenger never rectified it. Emery never rectified it. Finally, it's just been rectified under Arteta.
Yeah.
So all these years we've needed it. It's never got rectified. They've only just been rectified in the summer, Sophie.
Well,
so
look,
we have to be a bit fair on this. Sophie.
Here's the thing, Kevin. Finally, there's an executive and a manager who have understood that getting rid of these players is the only way to move forward with the club. And the fact that we were able to do that in January is why I still have a little bit of faith. I'm going to criticize him for bringing on Willian. I'm not going to be afraid to do that, even though I got ripped to shreds on Twitter at the weekend. And I'm more than happy to get ripped to shreds. I'm a big girl. I can handle that. But you've got to be able to criticize him for his game decisions. But when it comes to who we've got rid of in order to change the culture and evolve the culture of the club, these are fundamental, important things that we've been dying to happen for years and years and years. These players that have worn the shirt with apathy, that have just wanted to collect a check. It is very difficult, even going into a corporate job and heading a film division, which I've done, for me in my environment, it is hard to change people's mindset. It's hard to bring in and infuse new ideas. It's not easy. It takes time. And it's very different in professional sports, because what else do you have? You're under the microscope. You're in the media spotlight. The news are after you. Fans are after you. It is a whole other ball game. But he is definitely going to have to improve us in the league, Kev. I mean, it's bad. Our league form is utter garbage. It's bad.
Sophie.
This is where
Sophie, I get it. Sophie, I get it. But the fact of the matter is, he is dealing with so much on the inside of this football club. And that's no excuse, by the way. That isn't an excuse. The key to this is he has to build his own team. He is building it. But he still needs the summer window.
Okay.
And that's when he's going to get judged. I agree with that.
Okay. Yeah. I say give him until next November, December. And if things are still the same after we've been able to then infuse a partner for Partey, we've been able to buy a right back, a cover for Kieran Tierney, because he's a little bit broken. It's a little bit worried. We're going to need a striker. Like, we're going to have to spend some money in the summer, Kevin. They're going to have to back him.
Not necessarily, because you know what? There are players who are coming up on free transfers in the summer, and Arsenal, they have to have their business, what that they want to do, already in their head, Sophie. They've got to know now.
Well, listen, you're listening, and you have been listening to the Highbury Squad. We've partnered up with Football Prizes. Check them out, footballprizes.co.uk. They have some Aubameyang swag that is up for auction this week. We're going to be giving away a free ticket this week, so make sure you're listening to win a very special signed Aubameyang piece. You can go to footballprizes.co.uk. They've got some amazing Arsenal stuff. And they've been really generous to us. And so we're looking forward to this partnership and growing it. And just be listening out for us to give a free ticket where you can win something very special that is Aubameyang related. And look, say what you want about Aubameyang right now, Kevin. Let's just take a deep breath. 2018, 2019, he saved us. His goals saved us. I don't know what we're going to do to improve him. We talked about it earlier on in the show, but there's something we have to do to improve him. And maybe, Odegaard needs maybe a chance. I love Emile Smith-Rowe, and I think he's amazing. But I think in this next game against Leeds, we give Martin a chance to see what he can do with at least, starting the game, as opposed to coming on as a sub with 20 minutes to go.
I think he'll offer something different. I really do. He'll offer something different that we don't have. And he's a left footer.
Yeah.
And he's got great vision. He's a good passer. So I think the likes of Aubameyang will be rubbing his hands because he could spot him. He could spot the run.
And confidence is a tough thing, you guys. I mean, we're all suffering from a little bit of it right now. Life's different. The world's different. Obviously, Aubameyang had to deal with the fact maybe he thought he was going to lose his mum, comes back, has to go into quarantine. I'm not making excuses for him because his form was poor even before that happened. But it's not easy. Maybe he's feeling the pressure of the new contract. Maybe he feels the burden of the captaincy. Something's not right. The team isn't adjusting yet. We've seen moments like 45 minutes against Wolves doesn't mean we're going to be able to do that consistently. We have to find a way to do that consistently. The manager's got to find a way to get the best out of him, Kev. I mean, he really does. He's too important and too valuable to not have, being effective. So, the next game is a big game. I mean, we say this all the time. A really big game. And you're right, Alistair. People hate it when we compare ourselves to Liverpool as a project, which I find laughable. Actually, they hate it when we compare Klopp to Arteta because Klopp's won stuff and he's done great things in Germany. And obviously, he's won and managed as a premier manager at the top level. But the truth is, Kev says it all the time, it took Liverpool 30 years to win the league again. And
we're at 17.
We're at 17. So
and counting.
And I know, Newman, Arteta isn't Klopp, but I'm saying Liverpool and Arsenal. Look at Manchester United. How long's it been since they've won the league now, Kev? 6 years?
6 years, 7 years.
Haven't won it since Sir Alex Ferguson left. It's really hard when you lose. As bad as Wenger was in the Premier League towards the end of his tenure, we still managed to squeeze 3 FA Cups out of him, right? And we all agree maybe he should have gone after 2015. But the point is that, yes, James, we have to spend money. We have to find a way. Even if it's not spending money, it's about enhancing the team and putting him in a position to succeed as a manager? Because it's the same. It's 50-50. It's half him and it's half investing in him as a manager. Right, Kevin?
Sophie, and you remember I always say it, there's tradable, sometimes you need tradable pieces. And Liverpool had tradable pieces at the time because they sold Coutinho to Barcelona, got the money in, and then you saw what they done. They brought a goalkeeper, they brought Van Dijk. You know, they made some moves. Now, we don't have a Coutinho, really.
Oh.
But we might have to sell some tradable pieces in order to get the people that Arteta and Edu need, that we need as a football club. And I call it the ruthless part. Arteta has proved he can be ruthless, and that's what we need.
And also, we can't be snobby, Kev. You know, and Ollie Watkins, look, 12 goals for Bamford. You and I talk about this all the time, right? Maybe we go get a Tyrese Campbell. I don't know. But we have to be smart. How do we want to play? And how do we fit those pieces into how we want to play? And say what you want about Leeds. I know some people think they're overlauded because they can concede as many as they score. But for a newly promoted team, they're surviving and they're there. And they don't have a lot of super uber. Rodrigo's their biggest investment, isn't he, Kevin?
Yeah, but what you got to understand is, Soph, they've been with Bielsa now. This is the 4th season. So they know his system, they've worked at the system. It's taken them 3 years to get promotion. And obviously they know the system. So their players are geared to their system no matter what. And it's a good attacking system. In the Premier League, you know they're going to get found out at times because there's quality teams in the Premier League. But Leeds will survive. Now, that's the key for them at the first hurdle. They've got to survive.
Yeah.
And they will. They will survive because they will win enough games. But looking at Leeds and looking at the Arsenal is two different things.
Yep. Well, look, we've definitely gone into Sophie time. 12 minutes added on. There was a VAR decision because, you know, we got on talking about the game and then I had to address the Monday Madness.
5 questions, by the way.
The last one was going to be on the referees and demoting them. Do you want to do that real quick?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Well, we're in Sophie time, so we might as well do it.
All right. I love it. A lot being said today. Listen, we all agree under no circumstances. Let's be fair. Everyone outraged today about what's happened to Mike Dean and getting death threats. But let's also remember how many black players have been abused over Twitter for how long with these bullshit, disgusting, despicable comments. Okay. I think we can create jobs instead of having federations or members of the FBI or Scotland Yard or police departments. Why don't we just create? I mean, Donald Trump created a space force. Maybe he should have created the online police force because this is despicable. And the fact that these players have to be subjected to this it just makes my blood boil. I can't. And now today we have apparently Mike Dean and his family have received death threats and stuff like that. That is disgusting. And I'm going to park that aside because we all agree that there are morons out there in this world, right? Absolute garbage.
100%.
But if we just take it, let's talk about the football. A little bit like Ozil. It wasn't about what he did off the pitch. It was about his poor football and his form on the pitch, Kevin, right?
Yep.
I think referees should be demoted. I think Mike Dean should now just not say I'm stepping down and say I can't manage in the Premier League. He should just maybe manage championship games. Is that fair or foul on my behalf about referees and maybe like players who get unfairly treated like David Luiz did in our game? Maybe referees should too.
The problem you've got, Sophie, is the referees are being asked to do something that's impossible because when the decision doesn't rest with the referee a lot of the time, he can go to he can go and have a look at it, but he's getting overruled by VAR. And then when him and VAR agree on something and the people appeal, it goes to the appeal panel and they win at the appeal. So the referees have been poor. Let's tell it like it is. The referees have been poor. Yes, they have. 100%. But you know what, Sophie? The arrogance of the Premier League in how VAR is implemented does not help them. It does not help them. And I thought, tell me if I'm wrong, VAR was supposed to help the officials.
I know. It's just made it so much worse.
And you know what? I see incidents in La Liga all the time. And the final decision rests with the referee. So he gets it in his ear to go and have a look. He can go and have a look and he'll see it in slow motion. And then he'll make the decision. I think we could handle that if it's just the referee that makes the decision. But our referees seem to get things wrong, left, right, and center. I truly believe that English referees go into games looking at a player's past record. David Luiz's past record gets taken into account. Why? You've got to look at the incident for what it is there and then. You can't be, because you've got form from before, that don't mean that what you're doing is a foul. It's ridiculous.
Right. It's like society, right? You know, someone does a crime, they do their time, and then we want to reform people, but then we want to kill them if they're in a situation.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It just seems like a societal issue. And I agree with Renat. New blood needs to come on. You know, there needs to be maybe a little bit more of a diversity, even in our refereeing, Kev, where we're not just looking at maybe people from the international side of things as well. So I guess you agree or don't agree with the demotion. Should Mike Dean be demoted right now? Two massive mistakes, both overturned.
Sophie, I'll be brutally honest with you, Sophie. I think it should be, there should be like a league table. You're doing bad. You go down to the championship. The best in the championship come up. Because how else are you going to progress those if it's always the same? If it's always these same guys and there's no repercussions to what they do.
Yeah, and you said it, like, we have VAR and there are a lot of people who agree with you, and somehow we're still having these debates, whether it's on pods or in the pub or, you know, with our friends. And sorry, this made me laugh. She said my name. I need to call my mom. Only call your mom if you're in trouble, or tell her you love her. But no, I agree with you, Kev. It's a tough. I think they should be banned or demoted. Like David Luiz, now we've lost him, right? It was important that maybe we had him. I think Arteta probably would have started him over Gabriel right now. Might be a bit of an issue with Gabriel. Teams lose players, and then what happens if it costs teams relegation or a European place, or even in a championship team coming up to the Premier League? Kev, you've saved two teams, right? You've come into Everton Football Club and saved them for potential oblivion, because we've seen what's happened to Leeds, Nottingham Forest, great clubs like Ipswich Town, right? And then you go to West Brom and you do the same thing, like you save them. And look what happened last season, Aston Villa, that decision, that line, that ball that cost
Sheffield United.
That keeps them in the Premier League. Yeah. I mean, these are fine margins, but they're worth millions and millions of dollars. They're worth so much more than that. And I think that once the season escalates, Kev, when it gets to these moments, people are going to look back on this, and this is where you have the question marks. And I just think that's really tough.
No, I agree. I agree with you, Sophie. And you know what else as well? The administration of the referees should be doing everything to improve them. They should be doing everything to improve them, because you know what, Sophie? Before, they were amateur. Yeah. Now they are well-paid professionals. They are professional referees. Why are they not accountable for making mistakes?
Absolutely.
If players make mistakes, the fan base is on them, aren't they? If you make a mistake. So why shouldn't the referees be held accountable?
Absolutely. And a lot of people loving your idea about the League of Refs. I think it's important. If they're going to hold a candle to players, then we can hold a candle to them. What a great show. Guys, brilliant stuff.
Sophie time.
It's 20 minutes, you know. I mean, I'm just saying. But they asked for it. The people asked for it. They demanded it. Yeah. And listen, sometimes there's certain shows when you get KC on and he hasn't been on post-game and stuff. It's just like tuning into like a TalkSport or a BBC Radio 5 Live or an ESPN radio show. They last for 2 hours. This is our radio show. The Highbury Squad is here, bringing you different content every single day. Tomorrow, we have Tom from the Gooner Talk TV on. PG will be back too. And we also have Alan Alger from Betway. Very interesting show. Super Kev's going to be back on Wednesday with Kevin Says, where he will have 2 very interesting questions for you, plus a bonus question. So make sure you're on your toes and you get ready for that. Thursday, I haven't decided yet, but Friday will be our fan forum, and that's where we go international. And we have lots of fans from around the world and all corners of the earth. KC, you enjoyed tonight?
Absolutely loved it, Sophie. Absolutely love locking horns with you as always, my dear.
Yes. And don't forget to go visit our friends at footballprizes.co.uk. They've got some great Aubameyang swag up for grabs now. And then you never know, it'll be on tomorrow's show or on Super Kev's show on Wednesday, where we give away a free ticket where you can win some Aubameyang signed stuff. Listen, hit that like button for us, please. And if you don't like us, you can come back. Our door is always open. We never charge people to ask us questions. We try and post as many comments as we can for you. And Super Kev is always here to answer as many of your questions as he can. Right. I guess we go off and have a nice cup of tea now, Kevin. What do you think?
I think so. A nice cup of tea and chill out. And listen, this is what I got to say. We love your Arsenal. You've been hurting us, but come, you got us!